Didn't get a screeching noise. Good. Lovely. Please pray with me. Loving God, for whom your people have waited, for whom we still wait, and yet who is already among us. Come to us, be with us, and teach us. Hopefully, through the words that you've given me to share tonight, and if not, in some other way. Amen.
Amen.
I feel like I'm fading in and out a bit.
You are.
Yeah. Okay, if it keeps doing it, I'll turn it off.
It keeps doing it.
Okay, I'll turn it off. Try and speak loudly instead.
That works.
So, it's the first Sunday in Advent. Wearing my purple shirt. Purple for Advent. There we go. I like to be liturgically appropriate in my shirts. Advent, waiting time, preparation time, getting ready time. The build-up for Christmas. Sometimes the anticipation, it ends up being bigger than Christmas itself. Especially if, like me, you've never actually been that fond of Christmas itself. A few Christmases have been great, but on the whole, I'm not that big on Christmas Day. But I love Advent. I really do. I love it for itself. So I've been thinking a lot about the nature of waiting. The whole concept of waiting. Because actually the idea of they that wait on God is quite a big one in the Bible. It's a common phrase. There's an idea somewhere in there. They that wait on God. It means something. You know, Israel, we know, waited a very long time for a Messiah. Quite a lot of Israel's still waiting. For some of us, we think the waiting's over. The Messiah came. And waiting for rescue, waiting for help, waiting for a saviour, waiting for something you desperately need can be horrible. And it can go on and on. When I'm with a client and I'm waiting for the ambulance, every minute lasts years. It's horrible. And if you're waiting for help that you desperately need, or if you're waiting for results, results you fear, results you need, results you don't know how they're going to come out, it can be horrible. If you're waiting for funding and you're just not getting it, and you phone up, have you made any progress? No, we're still dealing with it, you know, and it goes on, waiting. It can be really painful. And then sometimes we can wait like kids trying to make Santa come sooner. You know, waiting for something you want, you need, or you're just really looking forward to, or really you could have done with coming months ago, and you get like kids. What can you do to make Santa turn up sooner? Sometimes you can. You know, sometimes if you phone and pester the right people, the funding does come through quicker. Some things you can't. Some results, tests just take as long as they take. Sometimes they're just sitting on the results and you need to phone them up again. You know, according to some of my reading, part of what the Pharisees were trying to do in Jesus' time was to make the day of the Lord come, to make the Messiah come, because they had a theory that if Israel could just keep the law for one day, that would be enough, and God wouldn't make them keep waiting anymore. But, you know, they couldn't keep the whole Torah for one day, because there was always going to be some who didn't want to, some who wanted to and couldn't, some who hadn't even heard of this theory. Sometimes, yeah, you can hurry things up. You know, getting governments to listen that some kind of funding and research and support needed to go into investigating HIV, the community did something, they made it happen sooner. They moved people. Hopefully we can still keep moving people for improvements, for funding, for research, for all the things that are needed. Other things, you can't speed up. You know, a baby comes in 9 months. If it comes sooner, you've got a problem. And many an expectant mother would like those 9 months to be a little bit shorter now, coming near the end, getting a bit tired of it. Quite like the baby to be born. But a baby takes 9 months. Even Mary's baby. You know, you can't speed that stuff up. You can't speed up the germination of seeds and still get the healthy plants that you need. So sometimes you have to know what you need to wait for and what you can make come sooner. I don't think that if Jesus is coming back, we can make that happen any faster. But there are churches who believe they can. And they're working really hard to bring about the apocalypse. And I'm just like, guys, Jesus is coming when Jesus is coming, and making it hell on earth here and now isn't helping any. On the other hand, maybe we have to wait. Maybe it'll happen when it happens. That doesn't mean there's nothing to do while we wait. There's such a thing as preparation, preparing the way of the Lord. In Isaiah. Babies might come in 9 months, but I can tell you, my friend Debbie practically has the nursery ready already. I mean, just out of the first trimester. But that nursery is taking shape. Because, okay, yeah, it won't make little one come any faster, but they'll be ready. They'll be ready when they come. And we can do that. We're waiting for the kingdom. We're waiting for the coming kingdom. We can still build it here and now. I can't make Jesus come any quicker, but then I can make the kingdom come faster because I'm building it here. I'm starting with me, making it happen right here and now. So you're not trying to influence God. You know, it's not the kind of religion where you try and get the answer you want, when you want it, how you want it, in the form you want it. It's just a matter of being ready when it comes. Needing to prepare. Most of us, no matter how eagerly we want to see guests arrive, don't really want them to turn up early before we're ready. We want them to arrive, but we want them to arrive when we're ready. And Jesus put a lot of effort into saying, be ready. I'll come when I'm coming. God will move when God moves. But be ready, prepare. Do Advent. You know, no matter how keen we are to see the baby, we'd like the nursery to be ready when they arrive. And then there's waiting in stillness. That gets mentioned a lot in the Psalms. Be still, my soul, and wait for God. Which doesn't mean you're not working and preparing. Stillness is a heart thing. It's a living in the moment thing. There's a bit in one of C.S. Lewis's books where he says of a sort of angel type creature, oh, has he been waiting in the next room all the time? He said, well, no, because they don't really have the sensation of waiting, you might as well say the sunlight is waiting on the side of a hill. It just is. It always just is. And that's actually a skill you can learn. Yeah, we've got bodies that get tired, waiting can be hard, waiting can be painful, waiting can be exhausting, but you can still live in the moment. You can wait in peace, and that was a really tricky thing for me to learn, and I actually learned it in that 1 year of my life where I had nothing to do but wait, because I had literally nothing to do. But someone taught me that waiting is a lot like meditation sometimes. There's a way to just anticipate without trying to move forward. You anticipate now. You experience now. You realise that while you're waiting, you're still alive. And my dad tells me about a grandparent of his who, having decided that they were fatally ill, managed to wait to die for 40 years. I thought, crikey, what a waste of 40 years. I didn't know her for long, but she never seemed very happy. And some people wait to live. When this happens, then. When this comes my way, oh, then I'll be living. It's like, well, you're alive now. You know, whether Jesus comes tomorrow or in another 2,000 years, we're alive now. And a lot of the stories that I've read from the work of people in MCC and the people they knew in MCC during the height of people dying of AIDS and the height of the crisis is that a lot of people, while expecting to die, learnt to stop waiting to live and managed to live right where they were every day. I kind of think my dad's done that because actually nobody ever expected him to get more than about 30 years old. And he's made it an awful lot more than that. And I've watched him, and he lives. And he never waits to live. And if he decides that something needs doing, he does it. And sometimes I wish I could do that a bit more. Not wait till things are just perfect before I actually get on and do them. So I had a bit of a look at all the places where it talks about those who wait for God. Who are they? Those that wait. Because they're all over. They that wait for the Lord. They that wait upon God. They that wait for God. They're a kind of person that the Psalms and Isaiah and Proverbs have in mind. There's a kind of way of being that they're thinking of. They that wait for God. And they manage to wait for God in weeping. They manage to wait for God in fear. They manage to wait weary with crying, and their throat is parched, and my eyes grow dim with waiting for my God. And yet, they take courage, they that wait on the Lord. They are renewed like the strength, like the wings of eagles when they wait for God. They're trying to find the right one here. There's so many of them. Pages of them. There we go. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. They that wait for the Lord will renew their strength. I think there's a lot more waiting in the moment, living in the moment in that waiting, than trying to make Santa come early waiting. David's doing it. To you, O God, I lift up my soul. He waits. He waits knowing that he's in trouble. He waits knowing that people hate him. He waits not wanting to be put to shame. He waits knowing he's sinful and has a lot to be forgiven. And yet, somehow, He waits with faith. He waits in hope. He waits in trust. He waits in faith. May integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait for you. He waits for God. And that, in the end, is the waiting that's going to work. Because we can wait for all sorts of things, and not all of them are going to happen. Some of them are going to happen even though we didn't want them to happen. Some of them aren't going to happen even though we did want them to happen. And most of them are not going to happen according to our timetable. But if we wait for God, God will answer. If we wait for God, we're waiting for someone who's very definitely there and very definitely listening. I might wait the rest of my life to hear my mum call me Peta, and it may never happen. But God called me Peta before I was born. And some other name which is written somewhere on God's heart, which I'm waiting one day